Welcome back, folks. It's me, Channel Pup, back again with another news jam. Once again, the subject of conversation being Warner Brothers and their handling of the DC Extended Universe, but we do, of course, have some news, otherwise it wouldn't be a news jam. Like with always, if you like this show and you want to support it, be sure to subscribe, and if you want to go one further, you can also support me on Patreon. Right, with that out of the way, we've got some new stuff from Zack Snyder. We've got two topics, his ideas for Man of Steel 2, and an update on the Restore the Snyderverse movement and Warner Brothers' attitudes towards it. So let's start off with the Man of Steel 2 news. It is confirmed that Zack Snyder wanted to make a Man of Steel Superman solo sequel. This would have featured Henry Cavill once again in the role of Superman as opposed to rebooting it like Warner Brothers is now doing, and the villains would have been Brainiac, Feora, and other Kryptonians re-emerging from the Phantom Zone. So had Warner Brothers not chosen to reboot Superman, this would have been the sequel we would have gotten. Excuse me one moment, please. Get over here, you fucking dick! Sorry, just a lot of pent-up aggression over the past few weeks. Okay, let's continue. So, Brainiac definitely would have been the perfect candidate for a Man of Steel sequel. He's a character with a lot of live-action potential that I think a director like Zack Snyder could really do justice with. It could be an amazing villain choice for a Superman sequel. He's not one that's been done before in a live-action Superman movie, so yeah, I would have loved that. Obviously, Feora was also a fan-favorite villain in the DC Extended Universe. She definitely made an impression with the little time that she got in the first Man of Steel, and it would have guaranteed us some more epic Kryptonian fights, just like we had in Man of Steel. It very much sounds like taking Man of Steel and everything that made it great to the next level. And that would have been fucking awesome. I'm telling you, if they turn down this with Brainiac, that's one thing. But if I see a fucking Lex Luthor in that reboot, I think I might just have an aneurysm. God damn it, Warner Brothers. This is worth fighting for. This would be a good-ass fucking movie. Oh! It's exactly what I want. It's exactly what I want. Why can't we have this? Why can't we have this? God damn it, Warner Brothers! Okay, well, we've got more to say than just about Man of Steel 2, which would have been fucking awesome. But, you know, I guess it's just a little too cool for Warner Brothers. So what I'm about to read here is an actual quote from Zack Snyder. He says, "I would think about it this way. Yes, Warner Brothers has been aggressively anti-Snyder, if you will. And that's, what can you say? What can I say? Clearly they're not interested in my take. But I would also say that they certainly weren't interested in my take on Justice League. They certainly made decisions about that. And I love the characters, and I love the worlds, and I think it's an amazing place to make a movie. It's a glorious IP. So there's that. I don't know what could be done as you go forward, other than I think the fan movement is so strong and the fan community is the intention is so pure, and I really have huge respect for it. I would hope that cooler heads would prevail with Warner Brothers and that they would see that this massive fandom wants more of that, but who knows what they will do." I can't with this company anymore. Where do I even begin? Warner Brothers, you're so tone deaf, man. You're so tone deaf. So Warner Brothers were not interested in Zack Snyder's take on Justice League. Now that's already one thing. We've all seen Zack Snyder's Justice League by now. I loved it. A lot of people loved it. But let's just remember what Warner Brothers served up in its place. They weren't interested in Snyder's take, so what take did they present instead? 2017's Justice League. Now, let's be completely fair. 2017's Justice League is a good fucking movie, if you're blind and deaf all at the same time. That's one positive I can give to the 2017 cut of Justice League. I know there are people that disagree, and all power to them, but generally, most people did not like 2017's Justice League, and generally, most people preferred the Snyder Cut. Warner Brothers why don't you just take a look at these comparisons here? Your vision versus his vision. Someone here clearly knows a bit better. Now, one thing that must be said is Warner Brothers has learned a lesson from this. With films like James Gunn's The Guardians of the Galaxy and Matt Reeves' The Batman, yes, Warner Brothers are clearly allowing directors going forward more creative say. As a matter of fact, Matt Reeves in his contract, we know that he signed this contract saying that he would get the final creative say. So Warner Brothers cannot screw him over the way they screwed over Zack Snyder. Warner Brothers have made overall improvements to the way that they do things. They definitely give more creative controls to directors. So I'm just going to say this right now. Fellow Snyder fans, please don't go on James Gunn's Instagram telling him no one wants his movie. That's not fair. The thing Warner Brothers are doing really wrong right now is that they're acting like this company that's all-encompassing for all different visions and different directors, and everybody come on board, we're inclusive. We've got a multiverse, so what does it matter what is and isn't canon? But they seem to be doing that in a way that is exclusive simply to this one director, Zack Snyder, who got this cinematic universe off of the ground in the first place. Whether or not films like Batman v Superman and Man of Steel performed well as far as the IP goes, they were two successful movies. And the things people didn't really like so much about films like Batman v Superman were where Warner Brothers interfered with the project and cut out vital bits of information. I'm not going to speak for everyone here. I know there are some people that just straight up disagree with Zack's vision for these characters, and that is fine. But the fact is, Warner Brothers are suddenly all about directors' creative visions, and they're all about a multiverse where anything can happen. Any film you want, you got it. Unless it's by Zack Snyder. And then there's the part where Zack Snyder is basically hoping that cooler heads will prevail. He's clearly willing to come back and do more. Now, let me just point something out. Warner Brothers took advantage of Zack Snyder at a time of his grief and vandalized a film he put his heart and soul into. They took his time of grief as an opportunity to set aside everything he'd done and do it their way. Now, as if in this situation, Zack Snyder is the one with the cool head. Are you kidding me? Warner Brothers owe this guy the fucking moon. The fact that they did that to him, and he's the one with the cool head, is fucking absurd to me. Zack Snyder, whether you like his films or not, that man's a gentleman. That man is great. Honestly, he's an inspiration to me. The fact that, you know, like, there's a lot of people that would completely justifiably turn their backs on Hollywood and the film industry altogether if what happened to Zack Snyder and his Justice League happened to them. And I wouldn't blame them for 1 second for turning their back on the entire fickle industry system. 2017's Justice League makes me not want to work in the film industry. And I'm someone that loves making movies and stuff like that. I love doing that kind of stuff. But that 2017 cut makes me want to remain independent, because it is a sterling example of how fickle the industry can be, how inhuman it can be towards the people holding it up, the contempt that they will have for talent and the audiences that appreciate that talent. Warner Brothers, just think for 1 fucking second. They're gonna say, oh yeah, we don't need to compete with the MCU, we're playing a completely different game. And that might have been true back at the time when they were working with people like Christopher Nolan, but now they're clearly trying to mimic that business model in multiple different ways. Like, it's quite obvious given the new tone of these movies, and given that they've got James Gunn on to direct the Suicide Squad, it's quite clear what they want to do with this universe. Or should I say, fucking multiverse, you know? Like, they want to align it a little bit more with Marvel. Well, here's the fucking thing. Marvel Phase 1 is still canon. Marvel didn't have Iron Man 2 come out to critical panning and audience division and then decide Jon Favreau's vision for this universe no longer works. Better just erase everything we've got. There wasn't a director's cut of the Avengers, because there didn't need to be a director's cut of the Avengers. You get your filmmakers in, you understand what you're doing with them, and then you let them get to work. And that's where you leave it. And then you hope the audience like the film. I get it. You might not want to collaborate with people that you think are going to put off the audience. But you made your bed with Zack Snyder, and then tried to reverse engineer his films into things they're not, and that is a cardinal sin. You don't just remix a film. It doesn't work. And you know what's funny is every time Zack Snyder's gotten his go, people have pretty much liked it a lot more anyway. The majority of people I know, while they might disagree with Snyder's take on these characters, will admit that films like Batman v Superman Ultimate Edition are solid, that Zack Snyder's Justice League is solid. But the theatrical cut of BVS ain't, and neither is the theatrical cut of Justice League. So I'm just saying, they owe Zack Snyder the fucking moon after what they did to him. And as well as that, they owe David Ayer his cut of Suicide Squad, because that 2016 movie is a fucking embarrassment. If I were David Ayer, I wouldn't want my name on that. And I don't blame him for bigging up his cut. Just unfucking believable. Unfucking believable. But Snyder fans, the way to restore the Snyderverse is to maintain being vocal about wanting the Snyderverse back. That doesn't mean that we have to throw other productions under the bus. If we go review bombing, that's only going to hurt our credibility further. If we go harassing other directors that are getting their visions made, that's only going to make us look stupid. The key is just keep asking for it. Keep asking for the Snyderverse. Keep showing that we need the Snyderverse. Keep up the fan art. Keep in touch with Zack Snyder on his Vero. Don't harass him. Don't be creepy. Don't be weird. Don't be in the guy's DMs every 5 seconds, but just show that you care. God damn it, I'm so done with DC at this point. It's just a shame the Batman actually looks really good. Well, anyways, what do you guys think? Comment below and discuss. And as always, if you enjoyed this video and you want to see more like it, be sure to hit subscribe, hit the like button, share the video with anyone that gives a hoot, and as well as that, in the description below, is a link to my social media feeds, Twitter and such. That's the one I'm most active on. And of course, if you want to help financially support my crazy ass, you can do so on the Patreon. There's also a join button if you want to do that as well. A big shout out to my patrons in the $10 and above tier, Cyrus the Skeptic and Marcus Ward. I love you guys, but as for the rest of you, I love you guys as well. It's all good. It's all great. So, so thank you so much for watching, guys, and have a lovely day.